What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
Happy Thursday. We are extremely late because we just keep forgetting.
Oops.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how we keep doing that. But it's been a fun week. I hope y'all doing well and y'all not forgetting shit.
It's finally starting to get a little chilly.
Yeah, that cold came real quick, man. I'm telling you, government really be controlling the weather out here. It's crazy. Today we're talking about Hermosa, throwing it back to Hermosa. Mm-hmm. Do y'all know that Walt Disney was born in Hermosa?
Yeah, we did a little reel about that a long time ago. Maybe I'll repost it.
You probably should.
I probably should.
You're going to repost it on Friday.
That's fine.
You know, it works.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Did I tell them about my phone? I had to send my phone in? Y'all.
You mean your camera?
My camera, yeah.
You've talked about this like 3 times already.
On the podcast?
Yeah.
Y'all, I sent it in. They fixed it. As of right now, they fixing it. I'm waiting for the update saying that it's going to be done. Yeah. And then for them to send it back, and then all is right with the world.
So exciting.
It's so exciting.
Can't wait to have it back.
I know.
So we can stop talking about this.
Anyway, let's talk about let's get back into Hermosa. This one was with Jacoby Cochran, Kobe, as we call him. That was the first time he was on the episode, right?
Yeah, that was the first time.
It's the first time
we met him.
Yes, that was cool. If y'all don't know who he is, the
host of
CityCast Chicago.
Yeah, one of our favorite podcasts. Absolutely. So y'all going to enjoy this one. Very, very fun. Very entertaining. Always, man. Always, y'all. This episode originally aired almost 3 years ago, October 18th, 2021. Y'all enjoyed the episode. We back. I'm like high off the sugar.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it because that sugar was that sugar was different.
Okay.
Ooh boy. let's just jump into it real quick. I'm sorry, y'all.
This is the podcast where we visit all 77 of Chicago's historic neighborhoods and discuss their heritage and taste the amazing food.
And if you know anything about us, we love 2 things, food and Chicago, so I can't wait to burn this gas money.
You ready?
Let's get it.
This is the 77 Flavors of Chicago, the podcast.
Hey.
I think when I said this is 77 Flavors of Chicago, the podcast, I was like manifesting more for us.
Yeah.
77 Flavors of Chicago, the show.
Yeah, what's happening, y'all?
That's it. That's all I want. I just want the show.
Yeah, so we got to redo the whole intro?
Well, one day.
Or just do the podcast part, just to redo the part where you say podcast. And this is 77 Flavors of Chicago, the show.
Yeah. You know who I love that does that? The Daily Show. They will do that all the time. Yeah. They'll just like insert random people's voices where there should be. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's what we should do. That's what I
want.
Y'all, we back with another dope episode, another neighborhood, another community area. We joined by our guest today, host of CityCast, the podcast. CityCast Chicago, Jacoby Cochran. He goes by Kobe, right?
Yes, sir. You can call me Kobe.
Hey, Kobe. Y'all can call him Kobe, y'all. his mama named Jacoby. I don't call him Jacoby.
It's one of those like false, familiarity tools. Mm-hmm. It's just like it doesn't matter which one, but people always assume Kobe means we're like.
Yeah, we're like
so
friends
I'm just like,
now.
okay, call me Jacoby, and then when I tell you can call me Kobe, it feels like
something. It feels good.
I know it's manipulative, but
I ain't got no name like that. My name is Dario. Call me Dario. Don't call me Dario.
Oh my God! You want to piss him off? You call him Dario Durham.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Don't do that.
My homie named Darius. To piss him off, we call him Darius.
Man, so you know what my sisters used to do? My sisters used to call me Derek, just to piss me off. You know what I'm saying? So Deidre. Call me Derek one more time, I promise you. And they gangsters. I don't know why I did that. They gonna do it.
They're gonna beat your ass.
All in the comments.
They was gonna be like, all right, square.
Right, what you trying to do?
You got a couple listeners. You want to call people loud.
You got your little show, and you think you gonna. You got your little show. You think you own now? Okay. Calm down, Derek. No.
I love that sisters make everything little. You got that little show. You got that little performance. I see you got that little coat. You got that little bag on you. That little,
Slow down. I'm doing big things. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing big things.
Yeah.
Y'all, you can see we had fun. We done chopped it up. We done ate. We done been on his podcast already. But we give you time, Kobe, to talk to the people. Tell them who you are, what you're all about, man.
For sure. Y'all, again, my name is Jacoby Cochran. I'm the host of City Cast Chicago. I love that now that I'm actually here. That shit blares into the ear.
Yeah, my bad. I had to volume up a little loud.
It's all good.
It's an intimidation tactic.
It is. Let you know I blow your eardrums out. Keep fuck. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, so they've actually been on the show. We got started back in March. We're at the time of recording this, we're 141 episodes in, and every episode is just a different slice of Chicago. Whether it's history, whether it's organization, whether it's somebody who calls Chicago home, it could be, you know, us in the field, me recording with a local reporter. But every day you're going to learn something different about the city of Chicago, which is good for me. I've been, I was going to say I've been in Chicago since 1991. That's when I was born.
Yeah.
I was like, most people just say born and raised. I'm like, can I say this differently? Is there a different? I've been in Chicago for now 30 years. I've been alive for 30 years. I remember listening to one of y'all episodes, and y'all were saying, like, you know, we live here, so there's this feeling that we know about this place,
right?
That we represent this place. And what the show has, you know, taught me beautifully is I know a little bit, but I really don't know shit about Chicago.
Yeah.
So every day I get to learn something new with the people who call this place home, the people who are invested in it. And man, it's been one of the most humbling experiences of my life.
Isn't that one of the greatest feelings about doing a podcast? Like, kind of like similar to what we do. We get the vibe of the city, man. And you've talked to some incredible guests. You know what I mean? Like some people that really are in tune with the city, man. Tell who's been some highlights for you.
I mean, obviously, I gotta say Stephen Colbert.
Yeah,
was
just casually. He just casually said Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, that was when I remember, like,
Steve,
when they told me it was gonna happen. And me and my brother grew up watching Colbert Report Daily Show together. I remember going to my brother's room and just being like, "Hey, guess who we're talking to in a couple of weeks?
Guess who fuck moving out in a couple of weeks? Guess who's leaving?
Guess who's blown the fuck up now? We out this bitch.
You knocked on the door. Hey, pop. Hey, my man, you got to get the hell out.
We're moving on.
My house now.
So that was a fun one, purely based on, you know, somebody you grew up watching, somebody you loved. Then there's been people like Charles Preston, who's a famous organizer and activist and reporter and journalist in the city. I got to talk to him last week, and that was really fantastic. He, you know, very down to earth dude. I had Dilla on. I know y'all had him on the program.
Dilla.
I said it to y'all before. Facts per minute that's coming out of this man's face. Tiffany Walden, co-founder of The Tribe, came on. Bella Boss. That's my nigga.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to like pretend like, oh, we're like great friends, we're best friends, but it's one of those people who I've supported through social media, through GoFundMe's and supporting their art. And you know, Bella, I remember when I reached out to her, she was like, I see you supporting, so I'm a support. And that was like a really beautiful moment because I know how busy she is, but like, Bella was great. Joanna from WTTW and Araceli, that was one of those fun conversations that once it started, you just knew it was going to be good. And then I'll end with this one, Natalie Moore.
Okay.
Southside is my favorite book.
Southside?
It's for her to blend her own family's history with the history of this part of the city was so well done. And my producer is good friends with her, so I remember coming into the gig, and he was like, who's the person you have to talk to? And I was like, Natalie Moore. I was like, if I ever get to talk to her, I'll feel like I did something.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh, yeah, me and Natalie be kicking it. That's my homegirl. We gonna talk to her in a she said, let us get into our flow, and then we'll have her on. And I literally, it was like maybe week 2, and I was like,
you said what? It's a possibility?
It wasn't even a possibility. She was like, it's going to happen.
And she was confident.
It'll just happen eventually. And so when I actually got to talk with Natalie, it was one of those cool moments when she got on, and I think she said something like, I was wondering when y'all were going to call, and
heartfelt. Your heart,
That's crazy.
dropped into my stomach. I was like,
I'm writing you a 4-page letter. And I enclose it with the kiss.
Come on.
And you know what I'm saying?
And so, Natalie Moore was probably my favorite interview, purely from it was that person who was on the list of Chicago journalists, Chicago faces, Chicago voices that I need to tell them thank you for what they've given me. And when her camera came on and she logged on, I was just like,
yeah.
That's got to be. I know, Sarah, you had with Chef Corey. With Chef Corey.
For sure. You know what? Because I watched that episode halfway across the world with my brother. I don't know, over a decade ago.
Yeah.
And so the episode where he won Chopped, and so I was like, I'm just gonna DM him. I'm gonna DM him from our podcast Instagram page to see if he'll actually respond, and he did, and it was fantastic. So
cool dude.
And these people just end up being down to earth, normal human beings, and you're expecting this giant of a person,
right?
And they're just regular people.
And I think that's was cool hearing you say you were able to meet your Chicago one, like that, and we still kids at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We still have that sense of, oh my God, shocking, and when something good like this happens to us, it's just, you got to get back down to business real quick. You got to focus.
What do you feel like this experience has taught you? What is the one thing that you would take away from this experience? 50 words or less. No, I'm just playing.
50 words or less.
Real quick, we got to jump into the next segment.
It's something that I've really been trying to practice the older I got, is the value of listening to somebody tell their story.
Ooh, that's deep.
The value of listening to somebody tell their story. So to listen to a guy who grew up on the southeast side, to walk around Little Village with folks who work and live in Little Village, and restaurant owners, or whatever the case is, just you can try to fill in the details based on, your observations and what you read, but there's something of universal value of just shutting the hell up and listening to somebody tell their story.
Man.
And I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we've experienced, coming here, and especially having a different guest on here. It's cool to hear you tell your story right now, and we're telling the story of Chicago, and in a sense, we have to listen. As I do the research and things like that, I'm in awe every single time, because I'm like, man, this city is just great. Yeah. And you have to sit back and just listen to these stories, listen how these people come to who they are, come to be who they are, and the pride that they have in the neighborhood. We talked to a lot of restaurant owners and chefs and things like that. They have passion for the food that they make. They have passion for the business they started and the neighborhood they're in. So I feel you on that one, man. It's just good to just listen and then just chop it up. You know what I mean? Just because these are, like you said, we think they're bigger than life, but really they got the same blood we do. You know what I mean? They human.
Exactly. Monica Ang is a reporter. She's now with Axios. She was WBZ when I talked to her, and she was another one of those people who's just because I'm consuming news even before I was doing this. I'm a professor, so I'm sharing news articles with my students. She's one of those people who's just been teaching me about Chicago for years, years and years. And I had this version of her in my head, and then we sat down, and she was just like Monica Ang from the block, just ready to talk about lead pipes. And I'm like, you're one of the coolest people I ever met. And it's forced me to just come into these conversations sans expectations. Leave that shit at the door, create space for people to be who they are, be who you are, and the interactions that have come from that have blown me away.
I think the first time we went into WGN Radio, the first time they invited us, Steve Bertrand, who's been there for,
40 years.
35 years or something. We walked in and I was like, we can't talk to him. Who the fuck are we to talk to him? He's been doing news for 3 decades, almost 4.
Cool as a fan.
But he was so chill, and he made us feel super comfortable. And then the second time we went in, it was even nicer, because he's he remembered us by name, he remembered the podcast. I was like, this is these are people that have shaped communities and shaped other people's lives for decades, and we're just regular schmegular people.
Not anymore. Shit.
In comparison, we are in life.
It's been some months.
You know what I'm saying? we've been hot since June 23rd. I remember that day. Right around 7 o'clock.
That's true. It was right around 7 o'clock.
Man, this is dope to have you on the podcast. I don't know if y'all caught this, man, but this man is a professor too.
Right.
You know what I mean? You a professor. You do this podcast every day, and you teach people.
I teach 3 classes.
It's crazy.
So I'm grading and filming lectures, and in between interviews, having all my students on Zoom and still trying to get to know them and be engaged. It's something I didn't want to put down when I started the podcast. I probably should have.
Yeah.
But teaching just reinvigorated me at a time when I really needed it.
Still a passion.
It's right. And it's a real passion.
Yeah.
It's like, if y'all took my class, it's the easiest fucking class in the world. I tell my students day one, you gonna get an A or B in this class. I promise you.
Right.
You show up, you do everything. This ain't about grades.
Right.
It's about
your willingness. At that point.
It's about connecting, and helping them to learn a little bit more about themselves.
Right.
It's about public speaking.
Yeah.
And how you communicate. And so for me, it really is a case by case basis. I want everybody to feel like they can get out what they want from the class. And so I couldn't stop that when the podcast started.
Man,
that's dope.
Man, that's Kobe. That's Kobe Cochran, y'all, man.
And we had a great time on your
I was about to say,
I'm so glad when y'all stopped by.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Fun.
We were still like awestruck. To be honest with you, if we gonna be honest, man, I remember we were like, "Yo, this dude, City Cat Chicago, man, they want to talk to us." We both said that. Then when we got in front of the Zoom camera, we were all like, "Yeah, we here."
We do this all the time.
We set it up. We got our mics. We ready.
we good.
Hey, we got headphones too, motherfucker. We got headphones too, motherfucker.
Don't you see us? You see us out here. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, thanks for having us on, man. It was it was one of the best times we had is early on in our career here. So thank you for that. And y'all ready to get in tune with what we got going on here?
Sure. I'm excited to learn some facts about
me too.
The Hermosa neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm ready to learn, and if you're ready to learn, we gotta cross this threshold first. Now you ready? Now are y'all ready?
I feel ready.
Listener, are you ready?
I feel ready.
Viewer, are you ready? Let's go. Let's get into it, man. So we are in the wonderful neighborhood of Hermosa. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at me. Roll my R's.
I didn't say Hermosa more times than us.
You know what? The thing is, I know the H is silent. That's all I know now.
Hermosa.
Yeah, you got to roll your R. Yeah, roll them damn R's.
Look at us.
I'm trying to. Hermosa.
Hermosa. Mimosas.
Oh, that's his favorite.
It is. It really is. Give me a good mimosa. It's a wrap. Night. Anyway, Hermosa. Hermosa, I'm sorry, is community area number 20 here in Chicago. So those of you playing on the bingo board that I keep forgetting to update, I'm so sorry, y'all.
Just pretend it's updated.
If they update,
the thing is, if they re-download the bingo board,
it's a
new one. And if you have no idea what we're talking about, every week you can You can download the bingo board from the link in our bio and Twitter.
The title still say Edgewater, I think.
Yeah.
But
it's fine though.
Or O'Hare, one of them. But
you can download the bingo board and you can play along for a chance to win some Topo Chico.
I swear it's going to be updated this time.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Yeah.
Hermosa, it is number 20, and it's one of those original suburb areas of Jefferson Park Township. So if y'all, the Jefferson Township, so if y'all remember way back when we talked about it several episodes ago, Jefferson Township was a suburb that was annexed, and they broke it off into a bunch of little pieces here in Chicago, and that's how we got some of the community areas that we have now. Some of them are just neighborhoods, but it's one of those. It was annexed to the city in 1889, just like everything else. The 19th century was lit for Chicago.
It really was.
That back half was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Post-fire? Post-fire, we was lit. Pause.
Y'all gotta go to the History Museum. They got a nice little City of Fire exhibit.
We gonna be there. We gonna be there. Yeah, we gonna be there.
November.
We're gonna be talking to the homeboy over there, Julius, right?
Julius.
Yeah.
Nice dude.
Yeah, is he nice?
Nice dude. He
Yeah.
is.
We gonna have some breakfast with him.
Julius is nice.
Yeah, we got some
Don't give away
breakfast.
all the secrets.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. So the Hermosa had slow growth for a lot of the 19th century. So it was very slow to grow in that back half post-fire. It was very slow. A lot of the construction was cottages for workers. So like the story.
What is a cottage?
Not quite a bungalow, but not quite a condo.
But is it like wood? Oh, well, I guess all houses here are wood.
Well, not
You say cottage, I think like middle of the forest.
like
Same.
Right? Okay.
I think like a cozy
Yeah.
woodland area.
Little fire in the corner.
Lincoln log style.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they just stacked it up nicely.
Right.
Okay. Now, well, I don't know. We might be.
That might be accurate. I don't know.
I mean, this was 19. It was 18.
They all were living in log houses.
Not post. Not
oh, right, not post fire.
I keep saying 1871. No, not post fire.
There was like some trauma.
Yeah, we still got trauma. Shoot,
right.
You start smelling stuff. It's Chicago now. Slow down.
I remember
they burning Tulsa. Is that the street?
I think that's a stroke.
Okay.
If you smell burning Tulsa.
Yeah.
But I think the first time I got after I got my license and I was trying to parallel park and there were so many fire hydrants, I was like, why are there so many damn fire hydrants in the city? Like for
Julius
what?
Gonna tell y'all, man. He said they were fighting a couple fires a day. He said 1871 got that bad because he was like. Fires was just beating the shit out the city. They were so tired.
Yeah.
They was like,
and a lot of people don't realize, because to us the Chicago fire story starts 1871, but that summer was a drought. That summer was very dry. Very dry that summer.
Doesn't sound Chicago.
Yeah, well, I mean, climate change was different back then.
Right.
So, it was very swampy
150 years ago.
Think about how it was like the humidity back in that day.
Right, that's what I'm saying. How is that dry, though? It's humid.
That's true. Good point. Look, I ain't no scientist.
So it was unregularly dry.
It was unregularly dry, like during that summer.
Kobe was like, "Let it go. Just move on from that." It was dry.
I mean, it was right.
It was irregularly dry.
Forget all the goddamn science.
Chapped lips, ashy knees. That's what it was.
Dusaba was just walking around that. No, I'm sorry. Let me stop. I'm sorry.
I feel like that was racist.
No, it wasn't. I'm just saying.
It was.
I have no idea why, but I feel like it was. It was the lip pop. It was the embellished largeness of Dusabo's lips to make such a sound.
I could have just did the little LL Cool J thing, or I did that.
It don't create a sound for the mic. I feel you can't. What's the sound? LL getting down.
LL doing it and doing it and doing it. Why? That's the LL. Look at us. We are 10, 15 minutes into this bad boy, 20 minutes, and we struggling. Tangents. No, but we were talking about this while we were eating. As transit became more of a thing here for Hermosa, the population increased. Right. And the population increased right around the late 1800s. As the 19th century was in it, 15,000 people lived in this relatively small area, right? They experienced a building boom because of it, right? They experienced a building boom. A lot of buildings started being created for the workers to kind of live here and not have to travel far. This is the neighborhood. You're gonna work here. Do you know one of the businesses that really kind of helped keep the people in the area? Any guesses? Wildest guess?
Disney.
You say Disney?
You are on to something, but we gonna get back to that later.
He's on to nothing.
But Schwinn Bicycle Company, in the 1920s, they were headquartered here. Yeah.
He knew it, so let's rewind that part and have him say it.
They headquartered here, and as they headquartered here, they helped with the development boom. So they built a lot of houses for the folks to kind of just live here and not have to travel far, right? Just stay in the neighborhood. And in the 30s, the population went from 15,000 to about 23,000. So that's a lot of people that just started booming.
Wait, when was that?
1930s. Now we're in the 20th century.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. At that time, it was a lot of Germans, Scandinavians, Polish, Hungarians, Austrians. They kind of consumed the area, right? Now, in the 50s to the 60s, population declined, right? Okay. Because we got the housing and the business wasn't really here anymore. It kind of got stale. Let's be honest. Schwinn bikes. You know what I mean? They Schwinn bikes. Bozo only could give away a few of them. You know what I'm saying?
What is a Schwinn bike?
Exactly. No, it's
like I think it's just like a top class bike.
Oh, it is.
Schwinn is like a pretty popular.
It's popular. It is. It is.
See, I just learned how to ride a bike last summer.
She sure did.
So,
yeah, right over there.
We had a whole little teach people how to ride bikes episode.
Really?
It shit was so funny.
Stop it.
So
Did you just find random people?
We found Divvy was doing like Chicago. And Divvy was doing like a little bike training thing, so we just went there.
That is hilarious.
That's the cutest shit I ever seen in my life.
I bet that could be funny. Sarah got it in like 5 minutes, no joke.
I did yoga for a while,
There
so
was
my
some
balance.
people there who had been there. They said for 7 weeks.
Trying to ride a bike for 7 weeks?
Still couldn't pedal, my G.
Stop it.
That's insane.
You just ain't got no coordination. You need to maybe not start with a bike. Let's see how you walk straight lines. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see. Let's take it. We need to reel this back in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna go there.
I'm just saying.
7
I can
weeks.
say it.
Kids learn in like a day.
7 weeks.
It's kids learning a day because they pain threshold.
Right.
I think it's just the falling, like not wanting to. Yeah, it could be a huge barrier, or it could be. I learned in like a glass-filled alley, so
yeah, man. So you said you fall at your own risk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Look, my thing is, what was I telling you? Just don't fall.
Don't fall.
Just don't fall.
Shit advice. Having seen professionals teach a class, they fire your ass.
Just do it. Just pedal and don't fall.
She got it though. 5 minutes.
Look, don't fall.
Hey, look,
that's not one of their.
It's gonna hurt.
That's not one of them. Okay,
it's gonna hurt if you fall. So don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Why would you do that?
But you also showed me how not to fall, which was helpful.
Yeah,
how to stop.
If people be riding wide knee, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't know what that means.
You know, it's sitting doing what it is. Do you know? Big, when their knees be out there.
You only do that if the bike is too low.
No,
put your seat up, Jay.
No, you do. Yeah, right.
Put your seat up.
Right. Take the training wheels off too. Like out here looking like the dude from Saw.
All right.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. Told you about the
Schomburg bikes.
Told you Schomburg bikes. Come on, man.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Come on.
Schwab.
Schwab.
Schwib.
Anyway, in the 1950s to the 60s, the population declined. Right. In the 80s, though, Hermosa bounced back. Right. They bounced back, and this time they bounced back with a huge Hispanic population. Right, and that story, I kind of summed it up. So from that point on to now current, that's where most of the that's where Hermosa as we know it is.
Do you know what Hermosa means?
Beautiful girl or something like that. Hey, what's up? Your boy, come on.
I mean, you do the research. You should know this. I'm not.
Look, let me tell you, that was not in the research. They didn't teach me Spanish. Shit,
like when you research the community area.
Look, let me tell you, I took it back to 1999 Spanish class.
Wow.
I was like, shoot, Hermosa. I know this is gonna come up during.
You're like, I can use this one.
Some point during the year.
This down the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna make a podcast. One in the neighborhoods. But that's where So
when did they get the name Hermosa? Do you remember? Do you know?
Early on, and kind of the translation with that when they were coming up with the name Hermosa, they were thinking Pacific, right? And I don't. Be honest with you, I don't know the context why they were thinking that direction. You know what I mean?
Pacific.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of like the context for them. Is it was more Pacific type of thing, Hermosa. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
That's them. I don't know. It's kind of like last week's episode when we were talking about that happens to everybody.
It literally happens to everyone.
I imagine.
Yeah, it's all good. It's got to sit on the back leg. You know.
Pimp slapping.
Yeah.
But
no, like we were talking about the last episode, the loop. The loop wasn't used as a noun, as a common noun, until like 50 years after it was already more than that. Like it was like not almost 90 years after it was already the loop. You know, so a lot of these names. They just come about. Like we talked about Humboldt Park. The guy his name's after. He's never been there. He visited.
Named after the Germans.
And he came to the United States once and never visited Chicago at all, Illinois at all.
And the
they got a whole statue.
A whole statue in the park. I look so. Wow. It is. Look, it's this West Side. That's
when
what
I found out that was German or like maybe Austrian. Was it German?
Yeah, German.
When I found out it was German, I was like, Brian, I ain't seen a Frankfurt in this moment. I ain't seen sauerkraut on this block in 30 years. What are y'all talking about? German? Where do Germans live? Where?
Right. And that's a crazy one too, because that's a densely populated
Puerto
Rican.
Yeah.
You know, so and
a whole ass flag in the middle of the street.
2 of them.
And there's a lot of
16 parades.
There's a lot of significant Puerto Rican people that area could have been named after.
Look, we don't have to talk about it. We got to revisit this now that we think about it.
What was the other one that was like, Douglas? Douglas, I was like, why are we naming this area that's predominantly Black, African American, whatever your preference is? after a dude that is not for the cause. Like, what are we?
And we got our own Douglases. Like,
right. Frederick Douglass. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Right.
You better throw an S on that.
You know what I'm saying?
What is you doing? Put an F in front of that.
You know what I'm saying?
F Douglas.
F Doug. You know what I'm saying? We were F Dougie. You know.
Yeah. Wow.
The F is for a fox.
You know.
I say every time we do an episode in the field and I learn about like where these neighborhood names come from, like my producer is always like, she's like, we just can't be changing names every like 20, 30, 40. I'm like, why not?
Yeah, right.
Why not?
Why not?
Humble if these people is not, no.
Yeah.
They
I
can.
mean, now it's too late to change the humble.
No,
part.
it's not. They just changed Boys Town last summer. They just changed Lakeshore Drive.
Was it North Halston?
North Halston. They
We just
just
did an
changed.
episode on that last
Yeah,
week.
Yeah.
that was one of the first checkings we had
Yeah,
as a
somebody
podcast.
checked us real fast.
They were like, actually, it is not total erasure. It was brought up because they feel that the original name
Yeah.
is erasing people.
Right.
Like, I feel
wow.
you. Man, people ain't gonna change it.
Yeah, right.
People gonna call it what they
Right.
I was like, okay.
You know what name change I'm not feeling, and I feel it, but I don't feel it. John Baptiste DuSable Lakeshore Drive. You know why? For the single reason why I'm not a fan of that is because that shit take too long to read on GPS now.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be confused by the time I sit there trying to read.
Google Maps has the whole thing up there.
They got the whole thing up
And
there.
Lakeshore Drive is between brackets.
Yeah.
Like, why are we adding
Right.
extra
Right.
characters?
Just don't put it there. You know what I'm saying? Shorten that shit up. JPB or whatever. JPB.
And then it's like when you change it, I'm neither here nor there, but if you're gonna change a name, there's too many Columbuses, Balboas still
Right.
here. How unproblematic is Lakeshore Drive? The shit is really just like we got a lake. How we got the lake is problematic, just like everything else in American Manifest Destiny.
Right.
But at this point, it's just Lakeshore Drive, my
Right,
It's just
right.
like the shit
You
could've
by the
been-
Lakeshore, go drive. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Right,
It's
Charles was like, this shit could have been called Fern Drive.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
Y'all literally taking the most banal names.
Right.
It's like, let's add to that one. Wow,
And they had
across the
meetings.
street,
Yeah, y'all
like,
had
they
me.
bought coffee
Italian
and donuts.
fascists is just like,
Right.
we celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day in a couple days, and Columbus
Right.
just like,
Right there.
You see
Bogus.
me? You see me? I found y'all.
Found you.
all these years later.
Y'all wouldn't be here without your boy. You know? Like,
No, you would just still be here if it wasn't for your boy. That's what it should say. You'd still
Wow.
be
The
here.
Adventures of Cristo Colombo. Boy, get your ass out of here.
Cristo. Look at us. That's wild though.
The
That's
OG
wild.
gang member.
You know-
That's what he was.
Yeah, he really was. Him and all three of them both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nigga, he really pulled up on them and was just like, they were like, gee, we pot of water me or something. He was like, fucking Indian.
You don't even know.
They were like, what?
What?
They were like, what are you talking? He was like, it's India, Indian. He was like,
No.
nigga, no.
No. Potawatomi
You're
gang.
Iroquois. Like, what are you? Iroquois land. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Nigga, you
Indian, bro. Like,
Yo. And then they were like, we'll call them American Indians. Like, bro, you gonna put two names on them that they not fucking with? Two of them? They don't like either one of those, Brody. Neither.
neither one.
They just said throw the other one on. Let's American.
Boom. What's
It's
up?
like they literally was like, okay, we won't call you bitch, but bitch nigga. Bitch niggas. Like, bro, you did not improve on my. I didn't like either of those. Let's put them together.
Makes it better.
It's wild, man. It's wild. That's wild. That's a
Yeah.
whole other story we can get into, but we
Yeah.
can tap into that a whole bunch, man. We're almost done with Hermosa. Did you know, because of all the population, and since the 90s, the 80s, the population increased to 25,000, at one point peaking late 70s, early 80s, 27,000, which made Hermosa one of the most densely populated community areas in Chicago. So when you come here, and if you ever come here and it's packed, you see a lot of people. That's because it is. That's
Right.
because it is. It
That
is
little
packed.
small triangle.
Yeah, it's a little small triangle. It's exactly just like a small triangle. It's a little sliver, like a little crack.
Find the angle of that. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm good. Remember that back in class, man? Who gives a damn? You know, I don't give a damn about Y plus. But you know what I'm saying? Equal MX.
Not
whatever.
the same thing. Not
No.
the same subject, but that's all right.
I just had a slight case of PTSD. My bad. I'm sorry.
She said they're letters. Yes. But those are they go with different subjects, bro.
I just had PTSD just hit me.
We could tell.
The neighborhoods that are in Hermosa is Hermosa is actually a neighborhood self-titled, kind of like New York. And then Kelvin Park. Yeah. Sure. That's the other one. He said, sure.
Half the shit I've never heard of.
I mean, the crazy part is, I think we all heard of Hermosa,
right?
But didn't realize the community area too.
Yeah,
and we finding that out.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we finding that out with a lot of these places. You know what I'm saying? That's the community area, and not just the neighborhood. Some cases it is the neighborhood also, but we don't think about that.
And sometimes the neighborhood is more well known than the community area. Like
yes.
Bronzeville is. I knew Bronzeville before I knew Douglas. But
right.
Douglas is a community area, and Bronzeville is inside of Douglas.
Yeah, with several other neighborhoods in there too. So. Very, very enlightening. This podcast, I swear, we learn something every single time, man. And I hope y'all learning something. I know y'all are learning something. Last bit, do you know the fun fact about the famous person who is from Hermosa? And I think Kobe's onto it.
Who?
Mickey Mouse Daddy.
Oh, that's why you said Disney 70 minutes ago. And I was like, you're on to
Disney. Walt Disney was born December 5th, 1901, right here in Hermosa Park.
That's
his original
crazy.
home is 2156 North Tripp Avenue. You can catch the pictures. We'll have it up. We take pictures of it so you can see it. But Walt Disney, right?
That's
of course,
crazy.
I think people know he's from here, but
I didn't know that.
You did not know he was from Chicago?
I thought he was like from California. I don't know.
That's where he took his business. That's what he said. It's too humid down this month. Like, let me.
You know what's crazy is today. So while I'm like working, because my daytime job is logistics, which is super boring. But as I'm working, I will be watching YouTube videos, and I just started binging this. So her name is Christy something Romano, and she was the girl on Even Stevens, and she did the voice of Kim Possible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She was in her bag early.
Yeah, she was.
She was.
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah.
So I just found her YouTube channel, and I just started watching her videos, and she spills all the tea about Disney, about the industry, about her co-stars, about Shia LaBeouf, about Hilary Duff, everybody.
Oh, we about to turn into the Breakfast Club podcast.
Have you seen the movie Cadet Kelly with Hilary Duff?
I'm being honest, I haven't seen
where
it.
they're in an army
I think I'm a little too old.
I was right at the Cadet Kelly.
Yeah, so she talked
first time I
about
heard
it today,
about
and she was like, oh, Hilary Duff and I never became friends because she just got too popular and too famous. She's like, I was hoping. She's like, I don't have any famous friends. None of these relationships are real. They're all fabricated. All these people dated were fake. I was like, oh.
That sounds like a person that just they didn't like
no,
you.
She's very honest about she's like, I lost all the money that I made because I spent it very irresponsibly. All this stuff. Yeah, she.
Oh, so
it's it's a little bit of regret and
yeah.
But also letting people know.
Right.
I hear that more times than not that the friendships, they all or a good amount of them are fabricated.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure. I mean, because you gotta. It's a meritocracy, there. So you gotta. It's all clout based.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she said you spend months on set, recording with these people, and you feel like you've bonded, and then you leave and you never see them again.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. I mean, that don't seem far fetched, but I feel like the people that we do see that have genuine relationships. I mean, we don't know if they're actually genuine, but from what it shows.
Yeah.
Some of these people, you feel like, okay, well, maybe they just like each other. Maybe they just didn't like you.
Right. Sure, maybe.
I don't know.
I would have loved that Even Stevens family to stay tight.
I know.
I mean, Shia is problematic now, but I would
hell.
have loved to see a reunion with them.
Right.
Did y'all see Shia rapping on
Shit, I don't know what he does.
That was a while. Man, that was a while. I did, though.
Hey,
Shia LaBeouf is out here.
He is.
He need to get it together, though.
He's different.
There's a lot of stories about Buddy being deeply troubled and trouble people hurt other people.
Right,
and he needs to get it together.
Hey, well, just don't bring that to Hermosa. We good
that
over
was,
here.
That was my little tangent about Disney, but yeah.
Right. Bring that Disney stuff over here. It's a wrap.
Get your ass beat behind a Venezuelan restaurant.
Speaking of
which, after the break, we're gonna get back into the food, and it was fun. So we're going to talk about it. It was a lot of food.
It's a lot of food.
Y'all will be right back after this commercial break.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that episode. We will be back on time Monday and Thursday next week.
Yep.
With
Promise.
promise. We promise you.
Make sure you subscribe to the
Substack,
and so you can catch some more details, some more info on the episodes that come out and learn about what's going on this weekend. If you're looking for stuff to do, that'll be on there. And yeah, that's all.
Peace.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope you loved it.
And if you could, please follow us on social media at 77 Flavors Shy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
If you have any ideas or deep dives that you'd love us to do, please contact us at media@77flavorsshy. That's the number 77 flavors and shy for Chicago.com.
If you like visuals, please subscribe and follow and watch us on our YouTube channel at the same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, or search 77 Flavors of Chicago.
If you would like to support us monetarily, go ahead and click that Buzzsprout link in the description of this episode.
And as always, we gonna see you next week. Peace.